Redeemer is a top-down brawler of a game that combines melee combat and weapons for you to dispose the multitude of enemies that are out for your blood. It's simple, straight to the point, and doesn't overcomplicate itself as most good games should. This is the enhanced version of the original title that was released back in 2017 on the PC. Now, as you start the game, you're treated to a wee animation intro that briefly explains your character's backstory and sets up the game. You play as Vasily, who is a former elite soldier that worked for an evil corporation that carried out human military-grade experiments out on their soldiers. We see Vasily's plane crash into the mountains and finally finds peace when he's taken in by monks of a monastery close by, and he tries to find some way to live with the mistakes of his past. One day, his former employer tracks him down and sends in the heavies to bring him back to the headquarters. A bloodbath ensues and all the monks, including his mentor, are killed. So here is where your journey begins for redemption as you brawl and shoot your way to justice. To aid Vasily in his quest, he has some skills to help him dispose of the threats in front of him. At the start of the game, you are walked through a tutorial that leads you by the hand on how to pull off some of the moves that you'll be seeing you smashing bones and cracking skulls. The combat is fairly basic and works well around the game's mechanic that is offered in front of you. The X button sees you throwing punches and the Y button has you doing spinning roundhouse kicks, while the A button is your dodge for incoming attacks. Now when the opportunity comes along, you can tap the B button for a stealth kill, which sometimes treats you to a mini slow-mo of you snapping their arms or the backs of the enemies and hearing a satisfying crack as to go along with the move. To add to these moves, you can parry attacks simply by pressing the L button when an enemy is about to attack you, and this is outlined in a red shadow around the enemy. Now these parry attacks act as counter moves and leaves them open for you to kick the living crap out of them. To further add to this, you can also use knives, axes, logs, and even throw rocks, chairs, and even more to do more damage in a fight. Be mindful, however, as these can break after so many uses, but thankfully you get a mini health bar in the bottom left hand corner to show you when it's about to break. Also, if that wasn't enough, Vasily being the next elite soldier, he knows how to handle a gun or two, and these can be picked up after defeating an enemy. Guns are used by using the right stick to aim and holding down the right trigger to shoot anyone in your way. These also will have a limit too, and they'll need to be replaced once the ammo has run out. Combining the two methods, you can really do some damage against anyone that stands in your way. At times you'll also notice certain parts of the environment around you will flash white as you approach them. When you're in a fight, Vasily will use these environments to dispatch his enemies in a gruesome way, like impaling a soldier onto the spikes on a wall or throwing a mutant into a table saw and watch their guts and blood fly all everywhere. There will also be moments in a fight where you get treated to a slow-mo of Vasily slamming enemies into walls, squashing their heads, or even ripping their throats out with his bare hands. As you progress through the game, you come against different enemies, and while they are not too difficult to deal with, it's more their quantity over quality that can actually see you defeated. So you need to be mindful of how you survive as you play through the game. There are also these elite type enemies that have a bit more kick to them, whether they have armoured suits and flamethrowers, or mutated soldiers with blades extending from their arms, or there's even soldiers that are so mutated they're just piles of heap of flesh, and as they shovel towards you they can even throw poisonous projectiles at you. During your playthrough you'll notice that there are manuscripts and tech tablets that can be collected, and these are treated as skill points for upgrades to improve your damage and health, plus add more to your core fighting and shooting stats and moves. These can range from faster reloads or more damage from your guns, and also give you added power to your punches and kicks, and even add new moves like sweep kicks. There's not really much more to add in terms of upgrades, which is a bit of a shame because they could have added in a bit more variety when it comes to the fighting moves, as I feel they could have added more kicks and sweeps and maybe even throws and grabs. So once you've completed the journey, you can try your hand at the arena, and this acts as like a practice mode where you can get to test your skills in a horde mode scenario and battle against countless enemies. Now while there's not really much to do, you're just fighting wave after wave of enemies, it is good to get practice, and it will help you to learn some of the moves to get better at the game if you decide to stop halfway through. Now another option that's new in the enhanced edition that wasn't in the original PC version is a co-op option, and in the co-op option you can play against a friend, but it's only local. Now I feel like if they would have added like an online option, it would have been a lot better, and also there's not really more freedom when you're moving around on the screen, and I feel like you're kind of tethered together. Now the co-op mode does add more in terms of combat, and when you're playing with a friend you can make through the playthroughs a bit easier, so you may want to wrap up the difficulty just a little. But I feel like they could have added maybe a few more options, or maybe even just a few more variations of the enemies. Redeemer Enhanced Edition is just that, it's just an enhanced version of the game that was released in 2017 like I said on the PC, and it is a lot of fun and you can dunk a few hours into while there's nothing else on. And while the gameplay is solid, and despite a few hiccups like a few frame rate drops in co-op or sometimes you'll get hitched up on the backdrops. It's still a very good game, and I had a lot of fun playing it. Now, I played Redeemer on the Xbox One X, and while it does look pretty nice, it's nothing amazing. There's no kind of wow factor, but that's just kind of me just being a bit nitpicking. Overall, I really love playing Redeemer Edition on the Xbox One X, and if you enjoyed my review or you enjoyed my thoughts and you like the gameplay that you see, and you are willing to give the game a shot yourself, I'd love to hear what you thought about it, and maybe drop a comment down below if you have played it. In future kind of reviews, I have decided to forego a score rating in my reviews, because I do kind of feel like putting a number maybe or even a rating on the review can take away any good or maybe negative points that I've made throughout the video. So just kind of giving it overall at the end. So if you like my reviews, I'd really appreciate it if you maybe drop a comment down below, a like, and even subscribe to the channel for more reviews. Thanks very much. Chat to you later.